Hello everyone. As promised in the class today, I decided to record the extra very short video to talk about the consideration when you choose your evaluation method for your clients in the group presentation and what needs to be considered and what are the pros and the cons you need to be aware of when you propose to your client. So let me share a very simple slide with you. So with this very short video, I only have one slide to share. And actually, I like to talk about this model adapted from Kirkpatrick's evaluation model. This model was originally used for after the training or after the learning and development sessions or a whole program. However, I think it's really useful for you to think about when you choose your evaluation methods. Because in this evaluation model, they divided evaluation models into 4 layers. And I think most of the time, people who are new in the management consultancy, they are very easily to fall into the first layer of the this evaluation called reaction. Very often you would see after people implement some kind of new either new training or new implementation or new project, right after the project, they will give their client a form to fill out. However, we can only say this is a reactional level. It doesn't mean your client has learned or has changed or has achieved their outcomes. And it's important to listen or hear from your client right after the project. However, in this context, you can only see whether your client is happy or feel relaxed or feel quite relief right after the project. But it doesn't mean their behavior has been changed or they have totally accept this new implementation from your management consulting team. It's like in our lecture in the class, right after the class or right after the semester, we gave you a form that's called evaluation form. You can only kind of fill out your feeling after the class. And some people maybe had a very challenging feeling during that class. The reaction was quite challenging. However, it doesn't mean after a while they didn't learn from this class or from this module or from this lecture. So I think that's really be careful when you offer this kind of reactional evaluation, because it doesn't show a sustainable or authentic change in this process. But it's nice to offer when you are going to give your clients to fill out some form after the project. So the next level is we call learning level, which means after you offer your clients suggestions or any new policies, they need to communicate with their staff, with their employees, or with their own clients. And in order to help this big group of people to have that kind of awareness of new strategy, or they accept the strategy, their attitude is open, they're consciously open to this new strategy and the new guidelines, it usually will take 3 to 6 months. It depends on your client's company size. When the size is big, it may take longer to go through a full levels of communication to help their employees, to help their team to be aware this new strategy. But at the same time, the resistance may show up in this stage, because when you start to communicate with your client's staff, your client's team, very likely they start to show, no, we don't like it, we don't think this is necessary. So this may take a while for them to be aware there is a new strategy from the company, and it's also a good timing to collect feedback from the end user's side. So after this stage, if you want to evaluate whether your clients, their team has completely changed, the behavior change, they really follow the new policies, new strategies, or new suggestions you give, and they adapt it, they really start to use it, usually it will take, I think, at least 1 year to see the result. So what I'm trying to say is, when you propose to your client, you are going to evaluate their change or if you are going to evaluate their learning, you need to give time. Please do not overpromise saying, right after the project, we can see everyone is aware of these new strategies. Everyone's behavior can be changed right after this project. So the timing and the way you are going to propose your evaluation needs to be very careful to consider this timing. The last one, the top level of outcome, the evaluation we say is to measure the outcome. Outcome often can be seen as the business revenue, the expansion of their clients, your client's client, the client's number are rising, increased, or maybe they start to see the profits. Maybe they can see more business levels outcome or organizational levels outcome. However, when you propose you are going to measure this, again, you need to be very careful because it can take 2 to 3 years, the full financial cycle, physical cycle to see that result. At the same time, if anything happen in these 2-3 years when you are waiting for the result, that may impact on the business outcome as well. It doesn't mean your solution, your proposed suggestions are not in the right direction, but it can be the bigger environment's impact. Like if your client's industry is heavily rely on a stable politics situation, or very rely on the safety or the overall social system in that market, then their business outcome are easily to be swayed by external reasons. So if you are going to propose to help your client to see a very clear outcomes from the project you suggest, first you need to consider the timing is probably 2 to 3 years. Are you going to stay with your clients for so long? And second, when you promise this, do you wanna explain there might be some external factors to impact on them to achieve this outcome they like to see? So again, I think this is more to prepare you and to prepare your clients' expectation, because in the past few years, we keep seeing students propose right after the project. For example, immediately after the project, they can help the client to increase 50% of revenue, or right after the project, they can help the clients to double up their clients' numbers. I think they kind of propose a long-term levels of outcome evaluation, but at a reaction level. So it's like the client would say it's not feasible, and also they probably wouldn't see the outcome if you propose this way. Then very likely they'll come back to blame you, to say, why didn't you meet what you promised to us at the pitch presentation? So I hope these layers of evaluation will help you to really think through when you propose how are you going to evaluate this project with your client. It doesn't mean if you don't propose the outcome evaluation, it doesn't mean your proposal or your suggestions are not good, but it does mean you are more practical, more realistic, because sometimes with a short-term project, what you can do as a smaller size consulting firm is to help their staff or employee to have that kind of awareness, or maybe further level called behavior change. But it doesn't mean you need always to propose them to see the outcomes. However, you can leave as I think as a future project or future business, if they like, they can create this as a long-term consultancy project with your team, and then more likely you will help them, support them for 2-3 years to see this kind of outcome. So I hope this short video works, and if you have any further question, please feel free to ask me in the next lecture. Thank you so much.